Hi Pot Gang, it's Beth here. And today we're going to be repotting Suki, the sugar snap pea from the May box. It's been just over a month since I planted the seeds from the May box, and now that Suki's got kind of 4 or 5 leaves, she's outgrowing her seed tray, it's time for her to be repotted and move up a size. So for this stage, we're going to need a medium pot, a saucer if you added them, and some compost. So to get going with our repotting, we're going to grab our medium pot and start filling it up with compost. As always, you want to break up any big, lumpy, clumpy bits in the compost as you go. So now that we've filled the pot up with compost, we're going to level out the surface. And then next, we need to make a hole in the middle that we're going to put our Suki, the sugar snap pea, into. So you need to make the hole big enough so that it's about the size of one of the pods of the seed tray, because you're going to take all of her compost and all of her roots with her and plant her into here. So I'll make a little hole. So when you're deciding which one to repot, you want to take your biggest, strongest plant, which for me is definitely this one at the front. This little one in the middle needs to stay in the seed tray for a bit longer. So now it's time to very gently, very carefully ease Suki out of the seed pod. So we're going to push from the bottom, and we're always going to try and lift by the compost and the roots and not by pulling on the stem. So we'll gently get her out of her pot. Try not to bring anyone else out with her. Okay, so you might see her roots wrapped around the compost. That's totally fine. And then we're going to pop her in that hole that we've made for her. Tuck her in by smoothing the compost back around her. So you want to have planted her nice and deep so that she's got lots of space for her roots to spread out into all of that compost. So we want to fill up any gaps that we've got with some more compost, and you might actually, I'm going to add a bit more compost because we want it filled right just below her very first set of leaves, so I'm going to stick a bit more in there as well. So now that that pot's nice and filled up and leveled out and she's all tucked in, we're going to stick a label on so that we don't get her mixed up with anyone else. So next we're going to give her a nice big drink. We want to make sure that the compost is nice and moist. It's going to help her roots kind of recover and settle in from moving house. She likes her compost moist, so especially while it's hot and sunny like this, you want to be watering every couple of days to keep it nice and hydrated. So Suki, the sugar snap pea, is probably going to grow quite tall, and she's a climber. So I'm going to stick this stake in so that she can wind around as she grows. So I'm going to push that in quite close to her stem, but hopefully not disturbing her roots too much. And we don't actually need to attach her to this stake because her tendrils on the end of her stems are going to do that for us. She's going to hold herself up. So you want to find a nice sunny spot for Suki to sit in. That was a tongue twister. And she's going to stay in this pot forever now. So you're not going to have to move her again, but she's going to get nice and tall and bushy in this pot. So find her a nice place to live. You might have 2 extra Sukis that you are growing as well. If you do, feel free to pot them in the exact same way once they're ready. And if you need any extra pots or extra saucers or extra compost, you can grab them on our website. So that's Suki all done. She's going to stay in that pot for good now. And in about a month or 2, she'll start growing little white flowers, which is where the pea pods are going to grow out of. So we'll check back then when it's time to harvest her.